Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good morning.
Because you were behind me. I didn't see you coming. She's sitting in these chairs.
You do.
No, I mean, they do because they're soft.
That's why you adjust them before you sit down.
Well, I'm trying to keep my back without getting cramps in it.
All right, good morning. Like that. You just look like that you should have a pina colada in your hand and you should have your feet up in the sand.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
Why just Phil? Switch afterwards, okay?
All right, we'd like to open the meeting and start off with public comments. If anyone has any public comments, we ask you to come to the podium and give us your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
This is Fred D'Amico, 5600 Market Street. I'm here and I haven't been here in a long time. I run the Youngstown Regional Film Commission, which is a nonprofit that brought over $1 million to the region. The last project we brought was called Them That Follow. Gerard Butler's company came to town. We borrowed $1.25 million from the city of Youngstown through a loan program that I designed for Youngstown with a redesign, rather, it was the float loan. Became a success, and the city of Youngstown wanted to take our business. They told our producers that they didn't have to deal with us, they could just deal with them. But when they did that, the producers took their money, went to Columbiana County, spent the money in Columbiana County instead. And then when I called Sharon Woodbury, she's no longer here, maybe because of me as well. They've been turned into a high organized crime. She's gone. I said, Sharon, in my grade, you better watch your money, because Youngstown's money is being used in Columbiana right now because of what you said to my producers. They called the producers in, had a little talk about how Fred D'Amico told them this came up. And they said, fine, we'll agree to shoot in Youngstown and we'll agree to show you a weekly spend. At the end of the movie, I came in, I said, so they shot in Youngstown, huh? Well, yeah, no, they didn't. They shot 5 seconds in Mill Creek Park. That's it. The rest of it's in Columbiana County. Mike McGiffin with his big smile saying, here's the weekly spend. I said, really? Where? Oh, you guys are so smart, aren't you? They give you weekly spend, but you don't know where, right? So you guys, you don't interfere with business. Torturous interference of business happens. And it happened here at the county as well when I had Mickey Rourke and Lindsay Lohan coming in 18. This is 1 year prior to when this corrupt organization or administration with Tito Brown and Jeff Limbian came to office. In 18, Tito Brown saying to me, I'm a selfish mayor, Fred. I want my boys in your car. I want Youngstown driving that car. You understand me? 6 months later, Bobby Wastow calls me up and says, just got done talking to the law director and the mayor, Fred. They want your business. They don't want you. They want you to hand your business over to their friend, Barbara Hero. And if you don't, step far, far away. We're going to block your calls and not let anything get done. What do you think about that? I said, I think that's extortion. It's actually called coercion. Because when a government body forces you to do something, and it gives you a quid pro quo, so you say, what have you. So when I wanted to use the Oak Hill Hospital, Anthony said no on Monday. But on Friday, Audrey calls me and says, hey, Fred, we're going to let it be done only if Sharon Woodbury from the city facilitates it. On Monday, I called Sharon, and Sharon says, sorry, Fred, you're not allowed in. Only I am. I said, oh, really? So you're going to let my producer come into town and put me in the car? I said, here's what's going to happen. My attorney will be in the car with me. I'll be videotaping you while you defame me, torturously interfere with the business of the Film Commission again, and also coerce me for my business, guys. Well, that day came, and you know what they did? Audrey, oh, Fred, you canceled. I said, no, I didn't. Why are you lying to me? Vicky DeVanzo told me that you guys called my producers at 8 o'clock in the morning saying, if you want to see the hospital, we'll pick you up or you could be dropped off to us. And then they tried lying, saying that I canceled it. This has been a big deal. It's called an abuse of power, coercion, you want to name it. So then I said to Anthony, Anthony, what'd you do to me, man? He said,
Thank you, Fred.
Hey, Fred, nothing. Don't get killed.
Fred,
I said, well,
thank
don't
you,
have me
Fred.
killed. Stop it.
Thank you,
I said,
Fred.
thank you.
Your 3 minutes is up.
I had a sheriff
enough.
come to my house.
That's it.
Pat Moran, is 3 minutes up?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what the time.
Oh, okay,
Thank you.
very good. Thank you very much.
Obviously.
So being
That's enough.
threatened
That's
is one thing.
All right, that's it.
You understand, that is a
I
threat, right,
understand. Okay,
officer?
go ahead. Have
That
a
was a
seat.
threat. Thank you,
Yeah,
Anthony.
you have
Just
3
wanted to make that be known. It will never be forgotten, ever. And TitoBrown.com will expose it all.
Jeez.
Oh, my.
That's why, do we have a restraining order, or we had one. We had him
We
removed
did-
before,
we
so.
couldn't- Well, I don't think he.
Okay, forget it. All right, anyone else would like to,
Oh, my God.
anyone else, public comments? No? Okay, we'll move on to approval of previous minutes of board meeting from Thursday, July 6, 2023, and approval of bills for payment. Do I have a motion?
So move?
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Journal entries.
Motion approved journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, travels, lead based. Now you can travel to that beach where to get that pina colada.
This is a travel for training in Canton for.
I guess you're not gonna get it in Canada.
They're saying there, beach volleyball. For my inspectors to go be certified to test for radon, which we have to do for our Healthy Homes program. $950 for each of them, non-general.
Okay, thanks. Motion to approve travels.
Motion approved travels 2A.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, agreements, engineers, Patrick.
Morning, everybody. Letter A is an agreement with GIS Cartography and Publishing Services. This is for the 2023 county maps in the estimated amount of $5,790, and these are non-general funds.
Thank you. Lead based.
This is an agreement with American Pinnacle Construction for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 392 Lords Lane in the amount of $7,625. That's letter B. Letter C is an extension with Mahoning County Public Health to provide lead inspection, risk assessment, and clearance services for us, and lab fees in addition to that until March 31st, 2024, as we got an extension for our 2019 lead grant in the amount of, actually it's no change, remains at $125,000 non-general. And D is an addendum in the same fashion with Youngstown Neighborhood Development Corporation to extend services in regards to that 2019 grant as well through March 31st, 2024. No change in the amount, $160,000 non-general.
Okay, thanks, Phil. OMB grants.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections for the Community Corrections Grant, TCAP, and Probation Services Grant Programs in the amount of $2,559,166.
Thank you. Motion to approve agreements.
Motion approved agreements A through E.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Change orders, engineers, Patrick.
Commissioners, letter A is change order number 1 with APBN Incorporated. This is for the Mahoning Bridge Paint and Rehab Project in the amount of $10,331.53. These are non-general funds.
Thank you. Lead based. Phil, you're a one-man band.
I'm going to remain standing for the rest of the meeting. Letter B is change order with American Pinnacle Construction for lead hazard control and healthy homes. Additional items, 356 East Judson, amount of $2,025, non-general. C is a change order with Howland Company for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 75 Broadway, the downstairs apartment, in the amount of $1,050. And D is a change order with Howland Company for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 412 Ferndale in the amount of $2,920.
You guys have been very busy. A lot of good things going on here.
There certainly are.
So it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Change orders. Motion to approve.
Motion approved change orders A through D.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Road closings, engineers.
Commissioners, letter A is to close Middletown Road at the intersection of Unity Road. This is in Springfield Township, beginning July 31st for approximately 30 days. This is for a bridge replacement at that intersection.
Well, at least there's one that's closing. It's not in Austin Town. Thank you.
I've been trying to close New Road by the bike path, but it's not my road.
Make down a little further so you can't get up to my house. Okay, motion to approve road closings.
Motion to approve road closings 5A.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions number 1 additions.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati? Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay. Resolutions, commissioners. Resolution to change the county seat for the commissioners' hearing room, from the commissioners' hearing room to Lake Milton Fire Station at 15980 Milton Avenue, Lake Milton, Ohio, on Tuesday, July 18th, 2023 at 6 PM. So we will have our next meeting in Lake Milton. Okay, facilities, Alan, I'm sorry.
County Commissioners. B is a resolution approving a 10-day unpaid suspension for one employee.
Okay, lead-based.
Both of these, to be noted, C and D are both were state EBL cases, elevated blood level cases where there was poisoned children. C is a resolution approving the moral obligation of $6,800 to American Pinnacle Construction for lead hazard control work at 210 Funston. The issue was there's actually 2 risk assessments done on the EBLs, which is why I brought it up. The state does one and we do one in particular. The 2 differed, but in order for the property to be reoccupied, the state risk assessment has to be satisfied. So we had to add soffit and fascia on there for the most part, and a few other items. There was some deductions as well, but it came to $6,800. And D is a resolution for a moral obligation for a change order. And this one's also, I don't know if it's deceiving on its face. Our actual change order was $3,650, $3,750 for that 2430 Logan. We also collaborated with the city, who gave us $9,000 to repair a roof that was unforeseen. It was a flat roof on top of the structure. And another side note, I'd like to introduce Erica Avery. I'm sure you might have all known her. She's with BNOY, or Better Building Neighborhoods of Youngstown. In this particular situation, this was a very large property, had an elevated blood lead level child. The city put in roofing money for us. They also put in CDBG money on top of our lead money and Healthy Homes money. And the furnace was there, but unbeknownst to us in the dark basement, it wasn't connected to anything. There was no gas connection to it. So after much thought, we contacted BNOY and Erica Avery, and they came in and installed the furnace for us. So just a small picture of the collaboration that we go through to get some of these properties done, especially the more expensive ones. We try to roll in other funding, not just our Healthy Homes funds. And they do become very expensive, but these homes are big. And the best part of that is there was a blood level child that was poisoned there. We helped them out. So I don't know if you want to say anything about that or.
Well, I could just say that I'm a volunteer for an organization. It's called Building Neighborhoods of Youngstown in the city of Youngstown. It's what they do is help rehab low to moderate income homes in the city of Youngstown. And then they do other community events too. They will be participating in the roof replacement program in the city of Youngstown. But we've been working, if any time there's an MOU between Building Neighborhoods and Mahoning County Lead. And so the call was there and we were able to assist and make the home livable for these people to get back in their home.
Nice.
Very timely,
Nice.
very much appreciated, especially by that family. The gas company also came out and worked with us to get the gas line hooked up again. So it was a big community effort, so to speak.
So there was no
Nice.
heat at all?
They were living with no heat.
In
The
the
furnace would have worked because it wasn't hooked up, or was it shot?
It was shot. It was shot. And I'm sure that's a big part of why they let the gas go. And And the family took some steps too. They were in arrears on their gas. They ran down and paid that so that everything worked together. And it happened within, I don't know, 9 days or so from us contacting them. The roof as well. We had no idea that roof was leaking until we started our abatement measures and found that the ceiling in the hall above the steps was extremely soft. It had those tin panels on it. You never would have known it. So it was a
And
big,
they
get
were
a
very
furnace?
grateful.
It's a
The
big to-do.
homeowners are very,
Do they have a furnace?
yeah, oh, yeah, they got a brand new.
That's what they.
Yes.
That's what they.
Everything's working.
Oh, yeah, everything's, and the family is so very grateful. So very grateful.
Thank God.
And they have small children.
Some just need a little bit of help.
And that's a problem we exist here in the city of Youngstown. I mean, on another project even in Benoit, the person, they're getting a new furnace. Here, this lady been heating her house with a stove for the longest. And we know that's carbon monoxide all day long. But
That's what these folks were doing as well.
people were heating their home. So they're getting a new furnace too. But they don't tell people, so you don't know, but it's just that they're on the list to get a furnace. And so when they went out there, the inspector said, she's heating this home with a stove.
Kids in the house?
No, this is the elderly lady.
I think, people that are my age or around, we all grew up with the stove open and heat.
Enough to chill off, but not the
And
whole.
to get to chill out, not to heat your whole
Yeah,
home.
not to heat the whole home.
That's crazy, and you're so right, Erica. People don't, you really don't know, who lives and what happens behind closed doors. I know, years ago, my mother worked in People's Drug in Cornersburg, and a woman used to stand by the bus all the time to wait to come get her groceries at Sparkle Market. And my mom got off the same time she was standing there. So my mom asked if she needed a ride home. So she started taking her home. And she took her home for like 2 years. And one day she went to pick her up to take her to get groceries. And my mom had never been in her home. And she came out in the wintertime and she had no shoes on, no coat on, and she fell in the driveway. And here she'd had a stroke. And my mom took her to emergency. And she asked me to go over there and pull the door shut and lock it for her. And the door was wide open. When I got there was no utilities in the house. And she'd lived like that for years. She had gone to the bathroom in bags and put it in. She'd bought bottled water. And she lived like that for several years and unbeknownst to anyone. So even when you're associating with someone, you just never know what's going on, and it's so sad that we have anyone that would live like that, so thank you for volunteering and making a difference. So, okay, resolutions and motion to approve.
Motion to approve resolutions A through D.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, good to the order. What do you got good, Phil?
Anna's got to be.
Anna, you're not allowed to talk, Anna.
All right,
Come on, Anna, tell us something good.
something good. Jacob Desney, my intern.
He got another 6 inches taller since I saw him yesterday.
He is doing a great job. He's very helpful and he is picking up jobs, anything I ask him to do. He's very helpful with the American Recovery Plan process. And, we're working on a PowerPoint project for the fair. And also we're having a follow-up meeting today with the broadband, Eastgate broadband money. And hopefully he'll be working a little bit more in the computer field, which is what he's interested in. So we're gonna try to get him over there for a little bit. You want to say anything, Jacob?
Glad to be on board.
How old are you, Jacob?
18.
18. And you're getting ready to go to
Last year.
YSU.
Good deal.
Beautiful, beautiful. And do you have a intended major to go into?
Well, I'm hoping to get into computer science I am currently in the process of getting scores back and trying to get placed into the class. If all goes well, then yes. If all does not go well, then IT.
Gotcha. Excellent.
Always could go back.
Good luck. You come from a great family, you have a lot of good people, a lot of support, so I'm sure you do well. Thank you for being here. Okay, anybody else? Audrey, anything? No? Anthony? You're good.
Good to go.
Carol?
I'm good to go too. Phil, thank you for doing that, and Erica, thank you. The city, some of our residents need some help.
Well, good. You all allocated your extra time for me to get on my soapbox, huh?
You know, we have a month.
My meeting's at 10:30, so I have to leave.
No,
I don't think I'm walking out on you.
I have an issue that in my mind, it ties into a lot of things that Erica does. You know, you see so many things today, you know, whether you're helping, you know, kids that need food subsidies or elderly or animals. And, you know, so many of it in the world I grew up in tie together, you know, especially when you have, when you start abusing things at a young age. You know, the other day we picked up a dog and I only think of this because my wife was on her way to get her hair done in Boardman, going down Hillman, and there's a little white dog running in the middle of the road. And so she stops her car, she gets out and she stops traffic and the dog runs to her, she picks it up and goes to Boardman to her hairdresser and calls me to come and get it, right? So, you know, I said, how come your issue becomes my issue, right? So I go pick up the dog and fortunately, you know, it was the cutest little thing in the world. It was just a little fluffy dog, turned out to be a very expensive dog that some young lady paid $2,000 for, lived over on Florida, and it was chipped and they identified it. And as soon as we posted it, it came up on, she called the dog pound when we put the picture up and came up and got her dog. So, you know, so I ended up stopping up there and, you know, dropping the dog off the dog pound and things. But we had a video that was posted from the dog pound. The three kids tied a dog up on the railroad tracks. And, you know, we went and picked up the dog. Fortunately, no train had gone by before someone saw it and called and picked it up. It had been there for over 24 hours because the gentleman that has a business by the tracks had a surveillance camera, was able to identify or see the three young kids. You know, there were three young kids, looked like 13, 14 years old. And, you know, and I think to myself, you know, how do you do things like that at such a young age? You know, I mean, what is your thought process? You know, and in my mind, you know, it turns into nothing good happens when you start out abusing an animal. You know, it turns in my mind, domestic violence. It turns into situations that we've encountered in the community, you know, not just here, but everywhere, you know, and it turns into Raymond Fife issues, Elaine Pullis issues, where people abuse other people too, you know, and those are bad incidences that happened in our valley that just stand out in my mind. You know, when I worked in Warren, that poor little boy, Raymond Fife, another young man, you know, and the young lady that was killed here in Mahoning County, you know, and it just all ties in. So I say this because I think it's incumbent on us as incorporated areas in the valley to identify opportunities to find abuse and to make stricter laws with animals. You know, our dog pound is filled. There's 100 dogs. And we can't get another one in there. And it's so bad. And there's so many negative things happening with animals. I think that when you go over, you know, if you pull up to a house and it's got a tethered dog in the background, you know, with a bare backyard, nothing good could come from that. The stink, the noise, the valuation of your property, and maybe inside the house abuse or, neglect or children or things that need done. So it disheartens me when we have the ability to control things and we have the ability to enforce things, that we don't do it to the extent of the ability that the law provides us. Because then, if I'm going up because a dog shouldn't be tethered in the yard, maybe the poor people that are there, it's no fault of their own. They can't even feed themselves. They don't even have heat, So there's so many other things that the dominoes fall on when you have situations like this, and it has to start somewhere. It has to start. I mean, when people say, well, how can you accomplish that? Well, how do you eat an elephant? Just one bite at a time. It has to start. You have to start doing the right thing. You have to start moving in that direction to make things happen and to just try to rectify the problems and do all you can. I get emails all the time from people, how can I help? And I don't know. I mean, go to council meetings and talk to incorporated areas to do things, to push the envelope, to take the initiative and lead the charge. Someone has to champion the effort. So that's my soapbox for today. But Eric, thank you for being here and thank you for what you do. And you, Phil,
Look
thank
at
you.
Anna's bite.
Your department, so. Okay, a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting will be at Lake Milton Fire Station on Tuesday, July 18th at 6 PM.
On the road.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Roll call.
Committee Remedy Agati?
yes.